Hi, I'm Simon, and this is The Ordinary Filmmaker. Thank you for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about something controversial, the flippy screen. If you're going to be in front of the camera, you're a vlogger, or you're shooting for YouTube like I am, don't use the flippy screen. Just simply don't use it. I know I can sense the hate mail and the anger and the WTFs. What's going on? I need that flippy screen because I can see if I'm in focus. I can see if my white balance is correct, my exposure is correct. I just bought this new external monitor. Why would I not use this? I've heard a lot of people say you should. Well, bear with me. Stay with me through the end of this video, and I'm going to explain very clearly why you shouldn't use it and how you can set up your camera in your environment ahead of time so you don't need to worry about that. So the first thing you want to address is your environment, your lighting gear, where you're positioned, how the lights are set up, how your camera and your tripod is going to be set up. Focus on all that stuff, get things lined up, frame up the scene, and look to see if you've got any garbage in the scene, anything that's going to distract the viewer. Then we'll move on to settings. You want to make sure your audio is set up correctly. You've got SD cards, you've got batteries in the shotgun mic, the lapel mic, a boom mic, whatever you've got set up, you want to make sure that's set to go. I recommend reformatting the SD card in the camera. It just makes life a little easier. Then what you want to do is you want to look to your white balance, especially if you're inside. There's no reason why you shouldn't set that manually. So set your white balance, set your exposure. Your shutter speed should be twice your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 24 frames a second, some people call it 24p, but it's actually 24 frames a second, then your shutter should be 50. Your shutter should be 60 if you're shooting at 30 frames a second. So get all that stuff taken care of. The next thing you want to worry about is focus. This is a little bit controversial, but I strongly believe you should be using manual focus. For those of you that are using cameras such as the GH5, you know this. Other people that use Canons, they tend to rely on their autofocus a bit more because it actually is very good. The problem is, you're giving control to the camera when you set it to autofocus. If I'm comparing lenses and I'm holding them up, I don't know what the camera is going to do if I'm on autofocus. But when I set it to manual, I know what's going to be locked in focus, and I know what my depth of field is going to be. So if I'm going to be doing a comparison of lenses and camera bodies, I might set the f-stop to f4. That allows me to have a wider area that's in focus. However, if you're on a GH5 or other micro four thirds sensor, what's going to happen is you're going to have to increase your ISO quite a bit, and you're going to lose any blurred background. Now on a full frame camera, that is mitigated quite a bit. You're able to capture so much more light, and you're going to get a blurred background. So once you've got all this set up, the next thing that you need to do is you need to test and make sure everything works. So start recording, record a couple of minutes, take the SD card out, put it in your camera. You really can't tell if everything's set up properly by looking at the view screen. Here you can easily see if you're framed right, if the audio is correct, and a few other things. Once you're happy, put it back in the camera, close that flippy screen, turn off that monitor, and begin the action. When you're actually filming, this process that I'm doing right now, I'm focusing on so many different things. I'm focusing on what kind of message I want to communicate, how I want to communicate that message, the emotion that I'm trying to convey. Am I trying to convey somebody who's a trusted advisor, or that kind of stiff 60 minutes kind of authoritative news source? There's a lot that I'm trying to do, and I don't want to be looking at that flippy screen because I'm going to get distracted and start saying a lot, just like I did when I started to look at that flippy screen. Dramatic pause. Why? because now I'm going to contradict myself, or at least it's going to seem like that. I strongly believe in the importance of a flippy screen. It is very important to filmmakers, such as ordinary moms, dads, students, or kids. However, only use it when you're behind the camera. It's a very versatile and useful tool for amateurs and professionals alike. But when you're in front of the video like I am here with you, don't use it. Again, don't take my word for what I'm saying here. Try it out. See how it works for you. That's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please click like and subscribe. They help keep this channel going. Good night. We'll see you soon.